Hello YouTube, just going to do a quick video on the CD singles I have of Robbie Williams' track South of the Border. Now this particular track was released I think in mid to late 1997. It wasn't a hit, it was actually one of his very few flops that he did quite early in his career. It came before Let Me Entertain You and Angels. It's quite a subdued track. I mean, I do like it, it's probably one of the only records I do like of his. I don't have any problems with him, but I'm mainly indifferent to his music. But people expect him to be singing pop anthems and ballads, and this is quite an introspective sort of rocky, Britpoppy type of track that didn't get any traction. So although I like it, I can see why it wasn't a hit. So this is spread over 2 CD singles. I bought it for the dance mixes, but I'll talk about the tracks anyway. So what we've got here, we've got a cardboard. I think this is CD 2. And you've got a picture of Robbie Williams there and CD there. Then you've got the dual case one. You've got same picture again, and of course a CD there. So the main differences are the tracks. Now I have to say there are quite a lot of remixes on these CD singles, split over 2. If you're a pop fan, that's going to be quite off-putting, because you would expect new songs to be on there as opposed to remixes. On this one over here, there is a B-side called Cheap Love Song, and if you had the cassette version, you'd have the radio version of South of the Border and Cheap Love Song on there, not the mixes, and that probably be more preferable for you. But anyway, this is how it was released back in 1997. So let's take a look at the CDs in a bit more detail and the tracks. So this one here, the cardboard sleeve version. So the tracks you've got on here, you've got South of the Border, main track of course. That's been edited for radio, so the lyrics in that, he says Cocaine Katie, so the radio version has been changed to No Shame Katie. Also there's a spoken word section in the album version, a little bit's taken from Taxi Driver. That's been removed on the radio version. But again, I didn't buy it for the radio version, I bought it for the remixes. So we'll talk about the remixes on this one first of all. So of course you've got the radio version, you can't really see on this camera, there's a radio version there. You've got the B-side Cheap Love Song, and then you've got something called the 187 Lockdown Borderline Mix. Now 187 Lockdown were a dance troupe who did a genre called Speed Garage. So they did quite a lot of remixes in 1997 doing that particular style, so sort of old jungle sounds of a kick drum instead of a break beat. They've taken the structure of the original and more or less completely changed it, so it's more a 187 Lockdown track than a Robbie Williams track. It's sort of cut and paste vocals as a bass line going for it. It's okay for the dance floor. There's a bit of time stretching as well on that. The next track is what is called the Phil Kick Drum Dane and Matt Smith's Nosebag dub version. I'll come back to that in a moment because I want to discuss the vocal mix which is on this CD. So we'll move over to this dual case one now. You can just have a look at the photos there. They're probably done on the same photo shoot. This is probably further down the road. That's further up the road, looking where the trees are, if that interests you. So on here, again, you've got the radio version, South of the Border there. I'll see if I can go into that. And you've got the Mother's Milking It mix. Now, that's similar to the radio version in terms of the structure. The actual backing track is more a sort of 70s, early funk, American cop show. It's got that sort of vibe to it. His voice has been filtered, but it does keep the original structure as much as possible, although the spoken word bit's been removed on there. And then the next track you've got there is again, this is the vocal version of Phil Kick Drum Dane and Matt Smith's Filthy Funk vocal remix. It contains most of the vocal. Again, it's filtered and stretched a little bit. The guitar in the original has been stretched out, and it's mainly a very big kick drum in it. There's a bit more of the Taxi Driver sample, so Robert De Niro sample, a little bit of that in the album version, but there's a hell of a lot more of it in this version. And then what I'll do is I'll quickly talk about the Nosebag dub version on this one here. That removed all the vocal, and it's mainly just a kick drum, a bit of guitar, a little bit of synthesizer, and it's got the Robert De Niro just repeating No Escape over and over. So again, that's more of a dance floor thing. Again, those are the 2 mixes, that Phil Kick Drum Dane and Matt Smith's Filthy Funk vocal remix, and the Nosebag dub version. Okay, so the next one we'll look at is going to be what is called the 187 Lockdown Southside dubs. That's 187 Lockdown again. That's actually the best mix on here. Again, more of a 187 Lockdown track than a Robbie Williams track. Again, a little bit better than the Borderline mix. It's just a little bit more repetitive, but it's a lot more funkier. It works very well on a dance floor. That particular style of music in 97 Speed Garage, that would have worked well into a DJ mix. Again, not really something that Robbie Williams fans would want to sort of be into, but again I am, so that's why I bought it. And the final track that I'll talk about there, this is what's called the Shango and Danny Howell's The Unknown DJs Meet Cocaine Katie mix. So that's a sort of pumping house techno synth mix. That's probably the second best mix on there. Again, very minimal vocals. It's got the spoken word section intact. There's a nice breakbeat in the middle of that record. It's good kick drums. So again, that would work in a house set back in the day. There is a poster with these CDs. So what I'll do is I'll take that out. Okay, so there is the poster that came with the cardboard CD, the top one there. And that was sort of in the inlay sleeve. So if you want to see a picture of 90s Robbie Williams with Oriental people in sunglasses, and this is definitely for you. So there we are. I will put a link to the chart rules that was around at the time. It might indicate why they were split over two CDs. The CD splitting started really in the 1990, much more prevalent throughout the late 90s of course, and certainly into the 2000s as well, before CDs singles faded away. Okay, so just a quick look at the CD singles for Robbie Williams' South of the Border. Apparently that's one of his own personal favourites. He thinks it's much better than Angels. Unfortunately the public do not agree on that. Most of these mixes are available on YouTube, so I'll put links to them accordingly. Just to show you, these are the CD singles releases of South of the Border. I bought these second hand from Oxfam, I think about 50p each over the years. I think that's probably back in the early 2010s I picked this up. So there we go. That's the CD singles for Robbie Williams' South of the Border, a 1997 track. Not a hit for him, but apparently one of his favourite tracks. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.